Hey, what's up? How you doing? This is The Metamorphosis. Our buggy buddy, Gregor, was really trying to get out of bed, but what's he gonna do next? Let's find out. But if you're just starting, you don't know the story so far, so start here. I'll be waiting for you. I never leave the video. All these videos are possible thanks to amazing patrons like you. If you haven't been on Patreon today, I posted some outtakes, some embarrassing junk, so enjoy that. There's also a poll so you can decide what topic we will discuss this Friday. Before we start the story, the most important thing for you, the 3 dots, 1, 2, 3, to imitate me as we read this story and really give you an amazing opportunity to get those words out of your mouth. So do it. Okay, well, let's get back to the story. See if our buddy Gregor finally gets out of bed. It took just as much effort to get back to where he had been earlier, but when he lay there, sighing, and was once more watching his legs as they struggled against each other even harder than before, if that was possible, he could think of no way of bringing peace and order to this chaos. He told himself once more that it was not possible for him to stay in bed, and that the most sensible thing to do would be to get free of it in whatever way he could at whatever sacrifice. And at the same time, though, he did not forget to remind himself that calm consideration was much better than rushing to desperate conclusions. At times like this, he would direct his eyes to the window and look out as clearly as he could, but unfortunately, even the other side of the narrow street was enveloped in morning fog, and the view had little confidence or cheer to offer him. 7 o'clock already, he said to himself when the clock struck again. 7 o'clock, and there's still a fog like this. And he lay there, quietly, a while longer, breathing lightly, as if he perhaps expected the total stillness to bring things back to their real and natural state. So Gregor is still in bed. He's kind of given up. He's just laying there, sighing. To sigh is this. He's obviously a bit discouraged, unhappy. He's talking about sacrificing whatever necessary to get out of this situation. To sacrifice is to give something in order to get something else. So you give something up, you lose something in order to get something greater. So Gregor is willing really to sacrifice anything to get out of bed, to not be this hideous new creature. Consideration, or to give consideration to something, means to give careful thought. He directs his eyes to the window. The most common expression with to direct is to direct your attention. It means to pay attention, to focus on something. So he's basically focusing his eyes on the window. He looks out the window and he sees that the narrow street is enveloped with fog. If something is enveloped by something else, it is covered, surrounded by. And he hopes that stillness might somehow bring a resolution to this problem. Stillness is just not moving or making a sound. Stillness. Obviously, I don't think stillness is going to solve the problem. Let's see what happens next. Before it strikes 7:15, I'll definitely have to have got properly out of bed. And by then, somebody will have come round from work to ask what's happened to me as well, as they open up at work before 7 o'clock. And so he set himself to the task of swinging the entire length of his body out of bed all at the same time. If he succeeded in falling out of bed in this way and kept his head raised as he did so he could probably avoid injuring it. His back seemed to be quite hard, and probably nothing would happen to it falling onto the carpet. His main concern was for the loud noise he was bound to make, and even through all the doors would probably raise concern, if not alarm. But it was something that had to be risked. When Gregor was already sticking halfway out of the bed, the new method was more of a game than an effort, and all he had to do was rock back and forth. It occurred to him now how simple everything would be if somebody came to help him. 2 strong people, he had his father and the maid in mind, would have been more than enough. They would only have to push their arms under the dome of his back, peel him away from the bed, bend down with the load, and then be patient and careful as he swung over onto the floor, where, hopefully, the little legs would find a use. Should he really call for help, though? Even apart from the fact that all the doors were locked? Despite all the difficulty he was in, he could not suppress a smile at this thought. Gregor is devising, he's coming up with a plan, a strategy to get out of bed. He's thinking about work a little bit and how they open up at 7. Businesses open up at a certain time. It's just another way of saying they open. A very good colloquial spoken expression is to open up shop at a certain time. For example, the grocery store opens up shop at 6. To set yourself to doing something or to set yourself to a task means to start something or to assign yourself a task. To be bound to do something means to be certain, very likely to do something. So if he falls on the floor, it's bound to get people's attention because it's very loud. To rock back and forth just means to go like this. We can also call this to sway, swaying. You also rock a baby back and forth. He thinks of calling some people for help, his father and the maid. A maid is a person who helps you clean and possibly cook in your house. A dome is anything that has this kind of shape. You'll see it in mosques, some churches, and a lot of other buildings and architectural monuments. Because he's a bug now, and a lot of bugs have domed shaped backs. Peel something away means to remove an outer layer or something that is on top, kind of like a band-aid. You peel it off. You also peel fruits that have skins. You peel an orange, you peel a banana, etc. And even through this very difficult situation, he can't suppress a smile. That's good. To suppress something means to stop or prevent. So he's not able to prevent or suppress a smile. So he's still in good spirits. He's still positive. Although I'm not sure why. It does not look very good. Oakley dokley. We're gonna stop here. If you have any questions about some of the vocabulary or maybe the story or any predictions, of course, put all of that in the comments. I'll see you soon for the next part of the metamorphosis. Bye-bye.